Hola amigos, welcome back. On today's lesson of the Language Tutor, I want to get you started in Spanish with some general greetings that you can use when you're meeting someone or introducing yourself, just getting to know people or saying hello to them, okay? Just bring these phrases in and start using them all you can. We're just going to put them right here on the board for you. Let's start with the basics. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, okay? Now, good morning, I want to go ahead and tell you, is buenos dias. Buenos dias. Now, I want you to notice something right off the bat here. Buenos ends with an O-S, okay? And that's the only time of the day you're going to say buenos. All right, so go ahead. All right, just in the morning, buenos. Buenos dias. Notice that accent on the I, so that's where we're going to kind of stress a little bit. Dias. Push your tongue forward a little bit. Buenos dias. Okay? And just an interesting fact. I've been to Bolivia many times. In Bolivia, they kind of do like an English Australian version. They say buen dia, singular, buen dia, very common. But buenos dias is very general. Now, good afternoon, we're going to say buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. Again, now buenas ends in AS. The rest of the day, it's AS. And good evening or good night, buenas noches. Buenas noches. All right, let's try those one more time. You say them after me. Buenos dias. Buenas tardes. And buenas noches. All right, awesome job. Now, let's move on. Just a general hello is hola. Hola. Go ahead and learn that there's an H there so that when you're writing it, you'll remember there's an H there. Even though we don't hear it, there is an H. Okay. Now, let's learn goodbye is adios. Adios. And a lot of times when we're English speakers, we want to say adios, and we put our tongue way back there where we make D's in English. But let's push our tongue forward. Adios. And stress that O. Now you're going to start sounding like a Spanish speaker. Very good. And let's say see you later. Now with see you later, we're not going to say see you. We will say later. But we use the word hasta. Hasta luego. Hasta means until. So anytime you're going to say until, you can put hasta in there. So now you've learned another word. All right, hasta luego is see you later. All right, and see you tomorrow. Hasta mañana. Hasta mañana. Of course, tomorrow is mañana. Just a little trivia. Mañana also can mean morning. It can mean morning. Okay, but in the morning, we don't say buena mañana. We say buenos dias, like we learned a minute ago, okay? Now, so see you tomorrow is hasta mañana. And if I'm asking somebody, what's your name? Let's say this. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? That literally means, how do you call yourself? But that's how we ask, what's your name? ¿Cómo te llamas? Now, the response for that, I'm going to give you two responses for that. There are two ways to say, my name is. First of all, there is me llamo. Me llamo. And then you simply say your name. So me llamo Danny. Okay? The other way, now me llamo was spelled with M-E. The other way is to use literally my name is. Mi nombre es. Now we're using M-I, which literally means my. Mi nombre es. So you can either say me llamo or you can say mi nombre es. Okay? So there's two ways that you can say my name is and introduce yourself. Okay, now let's learn, do you speak Spanish? ¿Hablas español? ¿Hablas español? Okay, now notice that it says AS at the end of hablas. That ending, AS, means you. Do you do that? Okay? Now watch how it changes when I say, I speak Spanish. Yo hablo español. Now, hablo ends in an O. That means I do that, okay? So if someone asks, ¿hablas español? Do you speak Spanish? Hablo español. I speak Spanish. Now, if we were going to say, I do not speak Spanish, all we have to do when we say we do not do something is to put the word no in front of the verb. So you can answer by saying, no, and then say, no hablo español. So the first no is answering the question no. And then the next no is going with hablo. I don't speak. No hablo español. All right? So that's how we do don'ts in Spanish. We put no in front of the verb. All right? So I am delighted to meet you, or it's nice to meet you. There's a couple different ways you can say this. One you can say is mucho gusto. Mucho gusto. That means with a lot of pleasure. Mucho gusto. And then this one also is encantado. Encantado. That's also used. Or it's really kind of tough to translate that. It's enchanted or nice to meet you, or in French they say enchanté. It's kind of the same concept there. All right, now I've introduced myself, ask if you speak Spanish. Might want to say, how are you? There's a couple ways to say that. First of all is, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? How, and then estás means, are you? Now, I want to point out that estás is if you're speaking to somebody your age, okay? Your age, and someone informal. It's just not somebody you might use ma'am or sir with. But what if we were meeting somebody for the first time and we wanted to be respectful and add a little bit more respect for it? We could do this. ¿Cómo está usted? Okay, now it's just ESTA. ¿Cómo está usted? That's a little bit more respectful way. So if it's somebody that you would say ma'am or sir with, I'd go with that one. Fine. Your answer, fine, is bien. Bien. And you would be y tú. Y tú. The letter Y by itself in a sentence means and it's pronounced like an I. You might want to say, I'm so-so, I'm okay, I'm all right. You might say, así, or some people say, más o menos. Más o menos. Or así. Good luck. You might want to say good luck. Just since we're using phrases with buenos and buenas, you might say buena suerte. That's another buena phrase, okay? Now, of course, yes or no. I know you've heard this before. Yes in Spanish is sí. I do want to point out it has an accent on it. If you take away that accent, now it says the word if. So that's the difference between accent and no accent. Accents can change the meaning of the word. And then, of course, no in Spanish is no. Push your tongue forward a little bit, no. Please, por favor, por favor. Thank you, gracias. Now, you can also say muchas gracias, many thanks. And sometimes I've heard people say muchísimas gracias. That's even a little bit more stressed, many thanks to you. So gracias is thanks in general. You're welcome. De nada. De nada. You can, I've also heard people say por nada. Por nada. Okay. Another way to say you're welcome is no hay de qué. No hay de qué. I haven't heard that quite as often, but it does exist. You might run into that. Excuse me is perdón. Perdón. And then I'm sorry is lo siento. And again, you may hear some people, especially in Mexican dialect, you might hear people say, I'm sorry, by saying perdón. And that's just the way they use it. They use it in the I'm sorry way. And when they say excuse me, you can also say disculpe. Disculpe. That could mean excuse me when you're trying to get someone's attention. Okay? Now, that gives you quite a few greetings to get started with. I would learn those and get on the internet and learn some more phrases. Bring those into your conversation, okay? But start trying to speak with your friends. Find a Spanish speaker that you trust that'll practice with you. Also, there are all kinds of programs that allow you to speak face-to-face with people. And so that might be a great option, okay? But practice those phrases, and I'll see you next time on The Language Tutor. Friends, thanks for watching The Language Tutor. If you have a question for me, feel free to leave it in the comment section below the video. And please click subscribe and the notification bell so that you'll never miss any of our language lessons.